All right. Happy Friday, everyone. This is Ruben with Red Alpha. For those of you who are just coming across our channel, our page, any one of the social media channels that you might be connected to, I wanted to try something a little bit different. It's on a Friday. I want to see if I can't do something on a regular basis on Friday for you guys to kind of get to know the people behind the company, right? As you know, my wife and I um, are uh, are both full time in business, and we are the ones that operate Red Alpha Custom Prints. So every one of the services that you see, whether it's a banner or whether it's business cards, vehicle wrap or window wrap, it's me doing it, my wife doing it. We're the ones behind that, right? And so we have a series on YouTube that we've created, and slowly we're trying to add more content to that called Behind the X's and O's. And so it started out being behind the X's and O's of business in general, right? Because I believe that the true beauty of owning a business, it happens behind the scenes. You'd be surprised of the conversations that are taking place right now, that are behind the scenes. There's a lot of encouragement. There's a lot of, hey, framing our mindset, and see being able to see, clearly, the things that, our vision requires us to see. A lot of times, whenever you're trying to make a vision manifest, there's a season of time whenever there's nothing that you can see. There's no evidence of the things that are inside of you actually exist. And so that requires something, that those of us who go to church is called faith. You have to actually believe in something that you don't see until you start seeing evidence that those things actually exist. Now, I personally believe that everything that if you have hope for it, I believe that it actually exists somewhere. My wife and I were just talking about the transition from a realm of glory to the physical world, and it's like the energy that brings it from one dimension to ours. um, one of the components of that energy is faith. It's being able to call something that is invisible the same way that you would call something that you can actually see and touch and feel, right? It's the same thing. It doesn't take me any faith to call this mug a coffee mug, because I can feel it and I can see it, and I have coffee in it, so I know that it's a coffee mug. But it takes faith for me to call an invisible thing a coffee mug, right? And so it's exercising this muscle of calling the things that are invisible almost as if you see them clearly. And this morning in our morning talk, I was saying, I'm wondering, which reality is the real reality, right? Is it the physical reality, or is it the spiritual reality? Because I've seen things that didn't exist. I've seen them pop up in my life, and it's through believing, it's through having hope, it's through having faith. And lately what we've been doing is we've been speaking on the individual areas of our life, in particular of our business. So we speak on this very video that's right here today. We had kind of a session to where we actually speak the things that we desire into the social media content that we create. So what that means is that right now there's someone on the other side of this video that needs to hear exactly what I'm saying right now. I believe that this is not a coincidence. I think that the person that is taking the time to listen to my voice through this video, you're someone who is needing help with how do I manifest the things that are in my heart, but I don't have no evidence. I look around, I don't see anything that matches what's on the inside. Well, let me tell you what I've done. First of all, you have to believe that it exists. I think that it helps to believe that there's a God that is on your side, right? And who has your back, and who's always going to do his part, right? He's always going to be faithful. And if you can trust in him, you will see evidence of his existence. Every day I step into the day, and I'm grateful for the day because it's an opportunity to see the God that I serve hand at work in my life. And so that inspires me to go and do the things that I know that I need to do. The steps aren't always clear to me, but I know the direction that I need to go because, first of all, I believe that even though I don't see it with my eye, I believe that it's there. And so I'm kind of looking around in my faith, if you will, of where that thing is at. Is it over here? Okay, I'm going to take steps in that direction. I'm going to make a commitment that I'm going to do the things that make sense to do in order to cause that thing that right now is invisible to manifest itself into my life. And so the more that I focus on the step and less on what's missing, I just stay focused on what I need to do, on speaking the words that I need to speak. I don't just run around throwing idle words. I don't want to say something and then just leave it there. I want to say something and back it up by action, right? And so if I call a thing alive, I got to do the things to make sure that it's alive and healthy. I got to cultivate the land. I got to make sure that the seed that I sow is healthy. I got to speak healthy words. I got to have a healthy perspective. I got to have a healthy faith in order to draw all those things together. And today I felt like I came to the understanding that it's actually a contract that you make with yourself and the God that you serve. Whenever you put him like in a situation to where it's like this is what's going to happen. This is what I believe that's going to happen. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to speak. I'm going to sow in that direction through my words and through finances, whatever it is. Whatever it is, I'm going to sow in that direction because I know, number one, that it exists. Number two, I know that there's a God that is going to, you know, He's going to order my steps and He's going to cause things to work in my favor. And then number three, I am well able to take on this challenge. You got to believe in yourself too. I always look at the day, and it doesn't matter what the day might have planned for me. I have a plan for the day, and I know that God has a plan for me, and my purpose is to execute that plan. I'm not worried about all the details, what's missing and what's not, what's not in place. I look at what is in place, and then I execute to the best of my ability. The one thing that I can control every single day is my attitude about the day. I can control my attitude. And if I could just focus on controlling my attitude, making sure that I have the right energy that is required to be able to make the world look the way that I feel it in my heart, then things start to change. It's almost as if the physical world is like a veil that is pulled before our eyes. That when we start to believe, things start to change without you actually doing anything. It just starts with believing. And then you start speaking in agreement to that what you believe. And then you start walking in agreement to the things that you're speaking and the things that you believe. And man, powerful things happen. Things happen, and you see things happen that would not happen any other way. And so I want to just offer some encouragement to whoever's listening right now that it doesn't matter what it looks like. You picture, imagine a life, imagine a world that is better than the one that you currently live in, that your reality it doesn't match that. And imagine something better, and then start taking the proper steps to manifest that. Do it every single day. Focus on the steps, focus on your seed, and watch how that becomes a covenant that you create. For me, it's a covenant between God, myself, and my wife. We're in covenant. And so I'm going to make sure that there's no idle words, there's no idle thoughts, there's nothing that's going to take away or diminish the vision that God has put into my life. Everything that I do is going to be so that it can flourish. And then I do that every single day. And because of that, I feel that I'm living the dream. So I hope that you guys were helped by this. Like and comment and share this with anybody that you think might need this message. I know I needed to hear it. I didn't have anything planned. It's not a script that I'm going off of. I'm just speaking from the heart. I'm sharing from the heart. And so maybe that's what we'll call this. Red Alpha speaking from the heart. Anyways, I'm Ruben with Red Alpha, signing out.